moving into our new place in Texas has been a disaster, you guys. Like, if you watch my Instagram, you probably know some of it. But when we first got here, it was like, we brought apparently the ice and cold with us, and it was so icy and cold. And then we actually had to go out and look for salt to put on the driveway because my husband and a couple of guy friends who've come to help us move were slipping in the yard. They couldn't walk because they definitely weren't going to carry anything in like that. So they went around, found ice. So we started unpacking at lunchtime instead of like early in the morning like we had planned, you know, first thing in the morning. And then we get in here. It's disgusting. This place is so dirty. I'm going to show you guys some videos and some footage of like how dirty this house was. We were in talk with the management company for them to make it right and get it all sorted out. Like the lady was horrified at how dirty it was when we sent her photos of it. Come in here, Kenzie. Anyway, today we started trying to put stuff in the attic, and the attic is full of rats. So there's tunnels all in the insulation. There's rat poop everywhere. I'm like, what else is gonna happen with this place? Just like put us in a different house. I don't know.
Hey happy homemakers, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be me getting the main living area tidied and some dishes done and some laundry done while I'm in the middle of moving. I haven't shown you guys most of the unpacking process throughout this period just because I've been doing half of a box here, a box there. I've just been doing it in pockets in my life, and we have no grass in the backyard, which means that my girls track in so much stuff. So we are thinking about getting one of those automatic vacuum cleaners, like the Roombas or something like that. Can't think of the other brands right now. iRobot. If you guys have one that you love, please leave me a comment down below and let me know, because now that we have all this open flooring with no carpet, I love it, and I love the open floor plan, but it just means that both rooms become a disaster really quickly, and it also means that I'm constantly needing to do the floors, and you guys are going to see in a moment how much dirt my girls tracked in. So honestly, as sad as it sounds, we've actually not been able to really let them go outside because they immediately need a bath, and the whole house is tracked and full of dirt. So we've been having to take them to parks and stuff instead of utilizing this backyard, which is kind of a bummer. But I mean, they literally are covered in dirt, and if they go back there, I can't keep them from like digging in the holes in the dirt. So it is what it is for right now. We're hoping we can plant some grass out there, but it is just a rental for us, and we're hoping to only be here 1 to 3 years maximum. So I'm not sure how much grass we'll get in that time, but we're going to make an attempt. Anyway, I will quit talking and let you guys get on to the cleaning motivation.
You say all the right things when I'm hurting. You always pick me up when I am down. It's like you have a spark that leaves me burning. Yeah, you just have your ways to get me high. You make all my dreams come true. It feels right when I'm around you. We could break up and then make up. I always come back to you. You move me in a way never thought.
Also love you guys' opinion on your favorite dustpan. I feel like it doesn't matter what dustpan I get, I have to do this like multiple times thing, and then I never get it all up. It's like they're not flush to the floor. So I love your suggestions for that. I do know the trick about like wetting a paper towel or something like that to get it up, and I do that from time to time, but I'd rather not have to do that. I'd rather just have a dustpan that actually does its job. Another thing that I will do sometimes is just take my Dyson and suck up my dust pile, and that works really well also. But I honestly just want a dustpan that works. So if you guys have a suggestion, please leave it for me in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it.
You make all my dreams come true.
So I actually had to take a break, give the girls a bath, and then clean the floors. So I want to try to remember to start trying to note stuff like that in my videos, because you guys don't see where the camera cuts off and on and the stuff I'm doing. And I know it looks like I get to clean my house for, actually this was about 2 hours of footage. So this was 2 hours worth of house cleaning, but it actually took, you know, the entire day, probably like 8 or more hours, because I kept having to stop and fix my girls' food, give them baths, because they were so filthy, you guys. I should have taken close-ups of their hands and feet. Like, I couldn't even let them play in the house when they came inside. I had to immediately put them in the bathtub, give them baths, and then I came back and did this. So just so you guys know, anytime you see me doing tasks, there's typically at least 10 to 15, sometimes 30 minutes or an hour, sometimes 2 hours or more of interruption between the clips where I have to stop, go do something else, and then come back to cleaning. And that can really be frustrating as a mom. That was one of the hardest things for me to get used to, was never being able to finish a task start to finish. And it's something I am slowly on my motherhood and homemaking journey, slowly beginning to embrace and just accept as it being totally normal, and realizing that other people are dealing with the same exact scenario as I am. I always think other moms' kids must play alone so they can get stuff done, but that is definitely not the case. We are all going through very similar situations, and that's just something that I am finally learning, thankfully, because it just helps me to give myself a little bit more grace.
I used to stay up all night trying to find my place, chasing neon lights and looking for some kind of trace to lead me out of darkness. Give me a little faith, something to make me stronger, someone who could light the way. Then you came to me and you gave me reason. I almost can't believe it. Every time we touch, I feel at home. There's no way I'd ever let you go. Will you put your hands in mine? I know I'm gonna be alright. I don't know what you do to me, but I feel like I am
You want it? That's what you want to eat? A sandwich? She goes in the pantry and comes out with all this.
So this totally cracked me up, but Lexa actually went in the pantry and picked out what she wanted to eat for lunch and was just carrying it all and dumped it on the island. She's almost 5, so she should be able to do that kind of thing by now, but in our old house, most of our food was in upper cabinets, so I didn't have the capability to really even put things down in a lower area for her to be able to help out and like grab stuff that she wants to eat and stuff like that, and so I'm not used to her doing that, so it really cracked me up. So of course I had to take a break off camera, fix them something to eat, and then came back to cleaning. Now I'm just showing you guys my mess of a pantry. I just kind of threw everything out of there. It felt great to get it all out of boxes, but I am itching so bad, as I'll talk about in just a few minutes here, to get this cleaned up.
every time we touch, I feel at home. There's no way I'd ever let you go. Will you put your hands in mine? I know I'm gonna be alright. I don't know what you do to me, but I feel like I am way up in the sky. Will you put your hands in mine? I know I'm gonna be alright. 'Cause when we touch is when I really come alive. Tried. Ooh, I couldn't be without you now. I just can't see how, 'cause I need you by my side. Every time we touch, I feel at home. There's no way I'd ever let you go. Will you put your hands in mine? I know I'm gonna be alright. Yeah, I don't know what you do to me, but I feel like I am way up in the sky. Will you put your hands in mine? I know I'm gonna be alright. 'Cause when we touch is when I really come alive.
this is my first time ever having a one basin sink, and it's my first time having like an undermounted sink, and I love it. I am always like the worst whenever I'm washing really like big dishes for splashing myself. My shirt always gets covered in water to where I have to actually go and change. And being able to put like my big pots and my pans, like my cookie sheets and stuff like that down in this basin and actually fully down in the sink and wash it, I love it. I love it. So this is definitely going on my bucket list for when we move, which will hopefully be, fingers crossed, our next house we're planning to build. That's our ultimate goal. So hoping that will happen when we move out of here. We'll find some land and be able to build. But there's already several things about this house that I've noted that I'm like, yep, want that in the dream house. So it's going on the list. At the top of the list is this one basin sink. Actually, I'm surprised. Like, I didn't expect to love it so much. And again, I've never had one before, so I didn't know like it was that different. A lot of people used to comment on my Michigan house where I had 3 basins, and I actually initially hated that. And I got so many comments of people about how, oh, that would be so helpful or whatever. And over time, I grew to like that because I could use a little small basin just to like soak dishes if I had something that had like, you know, stuck on food or something like that. But it's very rare that I actually need to soak something, especially now that I have my little own homemade Dawn power wash, which is just soap and water mixed in a spray bottle, which you guys have seen me using throughout this video. I started using that to conserve water, and I don't even really soak my dishes hardly at all. But having the big 1-part basin, I don't make nearly as big of a mess now, and I love it.
Alright, so this has been crazy trying to get all set up with all of the new house and everything. So I'm kind of, you guys noticed, shifting stuff around. I actually really want to get my pantry cleaned out, but I have so much other stuff I need to do today first. So I'm gonna throw the rest of these plastic goods in the pantry just to get them off the counter because I'm sick of looking at junk all over the counter. And then I'm gonna do the pantry on another day. I'm really fighting myself hard because I wanna do the pantry right now, but if you guys look behind me, you probably saw in my other clips, I have a lot more stuff that I need to do. I have about 3 or 4 loads of laundry left neglecting because I had family here for the move. So we're just gonna stash this stuff right now, which I hate to do. I really wanna clean the pantry. I showed you guys a few minutes ago probably. It is a disaster. All I've been able to do is just kind of like throw everything in there. So stay tuned. That will be a future video coming up very soon, probably the next 3 or 4 videos. Maybe not the one after this, but the one after that, you know, we'll see. I'm not sure what I'll have. I have a bunch of footage that I haven't edited yet, but so stay tuned for that. But I'm super excited to get that done. Super excited to have a pantry, but it is driving me crazy. I almost can't even walk in there because it's so bad, but we'll get there. I keep telling myself. I'm not in a huge rush to get everything organized, but at the same time, when I walk in a space like that, and I used to have like my food pretty decently organized, even though it was all throughout the cabinets, I look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. But anyway, I'm gonna put the rest of the stuff in there, and that way I have all this open space cleaned. I'm so excited to have the open floor plan again. And then I'll probably get the laundry done, and then I might take a little break today, call it a day for cleaning today, and then do some more tomorrow, so we'll see. So one of my
my biggest goals for this day was just to get all the floors downstairs swept and mopped, because we were just tracking dirt everywhere, in and out. I would get the living room and kitchen clean, but nothing else, and so we just tracked dirt from all the other areas. So I was just trying to get a real quick sweep and mop done in here, but as you guys can see, it just took me like moving a bunch of boxes around out of the way off the floor, but I was determined I was going to get that done on this day, and I did. So mission accomplished.
So I just get on my knees and pray. Yeah, we're happy and we're cool as ice, suffering in paradise. These kids don't play on a tightrope, blindfold, sleepwalk through the drama. They look and say, got the devil in their eyes, so you better not tell your mama. In the blackout night lights, dance in the rain. Maybe we were born this way, locked up in our dreams and we're paying the price. So I just get on my knees and pray. Yeah, we're sucking up the melted ice, suffering in paradise. Turn me up, I wanna feel the glow of the lights on my face in the stereo. Break it up, break it up, break it up, break it up. It's hard when you chase the pain all night. You're getting close, but you feel the strain. Hold on yourself, it's hard to maintain, like trying to build a fire in the pouring rain.
And yes, I am mopping in my socks, yo to the low.
Locked up in our dreams, no need to survive. So I just get on my knees and pray. Yeah, we're happy and we're cool as ice, suffering in paradise. Suffering in paradise.
Once I had finished all the floors, I moved on to cleaning out this little plastic container, because I wanted to put the girls' games in there and get those packed away, but I wasn't quite ready to put away all the odds and ends that were in there, so I just moved them to a plastic bag so that I could use this in and put all their games in there and put them up in a closet in the upstairs, and that actually has worked out pretty good for us, just to get all these out of the way so they're not just getting strung around the house, and we can just pull them down when they're actually going to play with them, and not when it's just the day that they want to dump games out. So if they want to play with the game, they got to come ask me for it. We'll actually take it out, play with it, and then put it back in its box. And like I said, that's been working out pretty good for us.
You said it was the last time, but you keep coming back to tell me sorry that you take back all the things you said just to hurt me. Our love just went cold, but I'm still burning. Our love just went cold. Why? I keep on making the same mistake. I always let you back in when I begin to get myself together again. You are back once more, like everything's the same. I tried to build my walls up, but you're taking them down. It's tearing me apart, I can't pretend. Now I have to get over you again. You said it was the last time, but you keep coming back to show me. Sorry you have changed now, but it's the same old story. Our love just went cold, but I'm still burning. Our love just went cold. Why? I keep on making the same mistake. I
outside in our backyard, but I just wanted to tell you guys our update on our rat situation. So we clearly, as you guys can see, do not have grass, so that's always nice. There's an airplane going over right now, so I don't know how loud that is. But the guy came and he basically was trying to tell us, oh, there's rats everywhere in Texas and like that's a normal thing or whatever. I guess he thought we were from Michigan. He was gonna try to tell us that the South is so different. We straight up told him, we're like, we're from Louisiana. We have dealt with rats, the same rats they have here. People don't live with rats. Yeah, they run in your garage to get out of the cold, but like they don't live in your attic. Like that's not a thing. Like we shut him down pretty quick with that because I'm pretty sure he was trying to like pull a fast one on that, and I don't know. Anyway, so we kind of got that resolved. We'll believe it when we see it, but he's supposed to be taking care of that in the next week. The cleaning fee they were gonna pay the people, which they told us the amount was reasonable. I felt that he was being honest about that. And they're just gonna give us that in concessions because we basically were like, we're gonna have to clean this to put our stuff away. Our stuff's in here. We don't want cleaning people to come in here. They're gonna have to move all of our stuff. Like they don't really, I don't think cleaning people do that anyway, like move your stuff out the way to clean. So they agreed to us on that. The last thing is that Lexa's car seat was completely chewed up by the rats, and so they don't want to pay for that, but we kind of are like insisting that they pay for that because we had to get a whole new car seat for, well, not Lexa, Kinsey. Yeah, Kinsey. Anyway, they had the same car seat, but we got a whole brand new one because it chewed up the seat straps and everything. Like she couldn't use that anymore, you know. They were trying to say because it was in the garage, it wasn't, you know, their concern, but we're like, it was in the garage for one day, and the rats aren't coming from outside into the garage like a normal pest, like you're trying to say. They're coming from inside the house to get our stuff that's in the garage. Like that's different than being like, oh, you know, a rat or a dog ran in and you shouldn't have had your stuff in the garage. It was out in the garage for one day and it got chewed up by some pest that came from inside the house. So when we like reframed it that way to the guy, he kind of couldn't really like argue too much with that. So he was like, well, because he was trying to say they couldn't do it at all. He was like, well, you know, I'll talk to my boss or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you do that. So anyway, long story short, we're getting what we want with the cleaning mess. I'm just gonna clean it myself, and we're gonna get our money, you know, basically get us money because we're having to clean it ourselves. And then the car seat is the only thing we're fighting on. We're supposed to have everything else done in the next week. So the car seat's the only other thing that's kind of still up in the air, but he's supposed to let us know that as well. So hopefully we hear from him this afternoon like we're supposed to. We haven't heard from him yet, and it's about 4 o'clock, but we'll see. So hopefully this is all taken care of. Fingers crossed, because it's just been a disaster of a move. He was supposed to meet us here to talk about everything. He showed up an hour late, like wasn't apologetic. Until we kind of started pushing back on things, then he was like super apologetic because he was like, I think he kind of realized like we know what's up. Like we're not just somebody that he can like push over and be like, oh, this is Texas. Texas is so different than everywhere else. It's like, no. God, people don't live with rats. Like that's just not a normal thing that people do here. So anyway.
Ladybug fly, 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 fly.
Oh, it's this. Oh, I found it. What you got? Don't put it in my face. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up.
Let's see what you found. Let's see what you found. That's the one face. No.
I see you, Kenzie. What you doing?
I keep on making the same mistake.